Good evening. We are so happy to have everyone here, and we want to start off by giving special thanks to the Kentucky Arts Council and to the Board of Education for the grants that they have given us that have made this possible. We want to make sure that we thank all of our artists, and I'm going to do a special thank you at the very end of the program, so boys and girls, you'll stay seated so we can thank them properly at the end. And what I want to tell you is that with this being a radio broadcast, if we are really doing our job, you should be able to close your eyes and envision the story. If we do our voices in character and we do our sound effects where they're supposed to be, the story will create itself in your mind. So you'll see the adults moving around on the stage helping the children because it's all in your head. So with that, we want to thank John Gage for being our host, and I'm going to turn it over to John Gage.
Thank you, Betty. On behalf of the community scholars, I want to welcome you all to this performance of our old-time radio show. After all, without you here, the audience, it would really not be the same, would it? Even though it is being taped tonight for radio broadcast, and we're not sure where that will be or when that will be, but it'll be a broadcast at least here at Trunnell, and also CDs are available, will be available. You can order one tonight, and it can be broadcast anytime you want in your own home. But it is a radio broadcast. These young people have worked very hard, beginning back in September, to learn about Kentucky's cultural heritage. They've learned about the geography of Kentucky. They've learned about the characters of Kentucky, all those colorful folks who make our cultural heritage so rich. They have also learned a lot about the music of Kentucky, and they've blended all these together with the help of Miss Stokes, our executive producer, to create the Community Scholars Old Time Radio Show. So we're kicking things off here at Trunnell tonight, and just to bring us all together, we thought it would be fitting to sing a song together. So I've asked our narrator, we're going to be co-narrators tonight, Colette Barney. It's been a delight to work with her and get acquainted with her, an actress, a talented singer, and she's going to lead us in Home for Kentucky Ways. The words are in your program. We're inviting you to sing along with us, so don't leave us singing alone. Join us as we sing Home for Kentucky Ways. And now, a word from our sponsor brought to us by Miss Shelby Noel.
The Lives of the Kentucky Frontiersmen, the stories of the men who made Kentucky safe and great. Brought to you by the Derby Pie Company. We make the best excuse to eat chocolate acceptable. And now, here's tonight's story. Daniel Boone was a man. I was born on a farm in Pennsylvania on November the 2nd, 1734. My family were Quakers even when I was very young. I love being outside, exploring, and hunting.
My father and two big brothers taught me how to survive in the wilderness, how to fade from the forest and hide from the Indians without leaving a trace. I would much rather be in the woods than study books. I spent many hours in the woods learning the ways of the animals, Indians, and nature. I made friends with the Delaware Indians. I helped around the house by cutting down trees, hoeing, weeding, and tending to livestock. I learned to ride as well as any Indian. I got my first gun at the age of 12.
When I was 13, I would stay in the woods alone for days. I built myself a hut for cover. I trapped birds for trading and income. I had a lot of trouble learning to read and spell, but I was a genius at tracking, knowing sounds of the forest, knowing plants, and how to use them. By knowing Indian ways like shooting, sighting, medicines, poisons, and being able to read the coming weather, I became a guide in the backwoods of Kentucky. I was the best guide available. Homesteaders in Pennsylvania needed me because it was dangerous to go into Indian hunting grounds in Kentucky. Even at the young age of 15, I was able to outsmart Indians and avoid capture.
By the time I was 40, many wonderful tales were told of my bravery and adventures. These tales tell of my remarkable deeds. They said I was as strong as a bear and as brave as a lion.
In the spring of 1769, Daniel Boone and 5 others set out from the Yahoon Valley in North Carolina to explore Kentucky. Daniel Boone wrote about what he saw.
I saw the beautiful level of Kentucky. We found an abundance of wild beasts in this vast forest. The buffaloes were more numerous than cattle on other settlements, browsing on the leaves on the extensive plains or crossing the herbage on the cane. We saw hundreds on a drove, and the numbers about the salt springs were amazing. We had passed through a great forest which stood myriads of trees, some gay with blossoms, others rich with fruits. Nature here was a series of wonders and a fond delight. Here she displayed her ingenuity and industry in a variety of flowers and fruits, beautifully colored, elegantly shaped, and flavored.
By 1776, as the Revolutionary War was beginning, Daniel Boone helped settlers create a new settlement named Fort Boonesboro in Kentucky. Daniel Boone was buried beside his wife in Missouri. A quarter of a century later, they were brought back to the bluegrass and laid to rest in Frankfort Cemetery. There they rest on a bluff above the river and a town on a high, far-seeing place like the ones he always climbed to see the land beyond, a monument to the new country in the wilderness which they had helped to explore and settle.
group of young people who have rehearsed so well over the last 3 months want to sing songs for you throughout the evening. This next one we want to sing was written by Grandpa Jones, a famous Kentuckian who you will remember on Hee Haw, many other appearances, and it's entitled 8 More Miles to Louisville. Of course, one of the most famous writers from the mid-1800s who immortalized Kentucky and made it and popularized the rural pastoral life of Kentucky homesteads was none other than Stephen Collins Foster. We're singing now Camptown Races.